What's up, everybody? Destroyer, welcome back to another cast of the Rise of the Witch King, patch 2.2 version 6. Today we have a 1v1 on Forts of Isen II between some very good players. So let's get in there. We have our first player, Luke, as Isengard in the bottom right. And his opponent for this matchup is Andy as Dwarves in the top left. So we got Dwarves versus Isengard on the forts. Excellent. So it looks like Andy is going to build his mines, of course. And his opponent Luke, of course, is going to build his furnaces, get going. We'll see what their starting units are in a moment. Neither of them have chosen power yet. Not really a pressing matter. Luke isn't going to go for Vision of the Palantir. I'm sure he's going to know what Dwarves are going to do. Dwarves are kind of predictable in a way. You just have to look out for their mine shaft. That's all. And of course Farsight isn't going to help you too much, unless you put it here, I guess. Then it might, but of course, a lot of players can go over here, they can go over here, put a mine shaft. So really, probably best just to get War Chant or Creebine instead. Most players go for War Chant, of course. Alright. Andy has gone for Guardians as his first unit out of the Hollow Kings, or Hollow Warriors. And we have the clan setting for Luke. So he's going to try the Wildman against the Dwarves. So that should be pretty good. And he's pretty good with Dwarves as well, so we'll see how he does here with said Dwarfs. And of course my buildings don't look as good as they could because of the shader being on the lowest possible setting to get rid of the fog in the map. So that's why the texture on the rocks is a little smoother than it should be. In case you're curious, which you probably weren't, but I figure I'd tell you anyway. Because yeah, that's what I do. Luke is spotting with his builder there. Very nice. As you see, he'll at least perhaps spot the Dwarven builder if he tries to go through the middle ford and put a forward mine. But it looks like Andy has put his builder down here. Luke is on the prowl though. And he does see this coming though. Of course, Dwarven builders in version 6 of 2.02 have a pretty big radius of vision to make up for the fact that they are revealed at random. So they're a lot easier to spot with. So they had to have some sort of tweak to make them more playable. Of course, not having the element of surprise as much. But I think that's a good thing because it's playing an element of surprise, like random RNG kind of thing, in a game is supposed to be like professional and tactical and stuff. It seems silly. It's the whole reason Hearthstone kind of went to shit when they did that, in my opinion. But anyway, it's different, different thing entirely. Anyway, we got Wildman and crossbows for Luke, and of course Andy has gone for the rally call, and Luke has gone for the Creebine there. But Wildman crossbows pretty standard, pretty good counter to Dwarves. You get these guys to tank, to meat shield, and to do a little bit of damage here and there, but the crossbows mainly do the damage to the Guardians and try and bring them down. And of course these guys are good at destroying mine shafts and such, so that's also useful. Wildman and crossbows, pretty good start just in general for Isen, against really anybody, almost. So Andy's going to continue getting Guardians for now, and building his, he's being chased by a single Wildman there. One single Wildman. He's going to continue to get mines, as I was saying, though. He's got a mine here. Guardians do last a long time, though, which is something that makes them very strong, but they won't last forever against crossbows, of course, which is their natural counter. Luke is going to get more Wildman and more crossbows, and then he will perhaps push Andy, or he'll just play defensively, but it looks like he's going to push up here, at least try and get rid of these forward mines out of his lands, which is definitely wise. He's also still got a builder over here, so he's really not using one of his builders, but Luke seems to be doing fine without both of those builders doing stuff. So that's fair enough. I guess if he's not building more buildings, he's getting more money for troops. I don't know. He has built a forward furnace, though, which is, of course, helping him spot the center there, and also giving him money, so it's a win-win scenario. It's a very vulnerable furnace, but it's a nice tactical furnace. And I like the placement of it. I think Andy will lose this mineshaft. Maybe not. Yep, if he repositions, he probably will definitely get it. Guardians are cutting through those wildmen pretty nicely, though. Perhaps he will save the mineshaft after all. One more wildman, and the mine is saved. Very nice. He could pull out battalions of guardians there as well if he wants to. And it looks like he is indeed doing so. He's going to need something for these crossbows, though, definitely. Hopefully he's working on something. No, he's just going to go straight guardian spam for now. Interesting. Okay. It's not a bad play, but it will start to wane in power over time as Isengard gets more crossbows. Isengard's going for pikes now, as you see. Probably the fear of the battle wagon, because he's relying so heavily on the old crossbow wildman spam. So naturally a battle wagon would have been a good call, but not at this point. Unless he's got some severe micro. Of course, if you're off-host, that can be very tricky as well. So it's not always wise, even if you are in a position where you should get a battle wagon, to get a battle wagon. Maybe Men of Dale would be good, though? Or Axe Throwers, perhaps? Men of Dale outrange the crossbows. Axe Throwers, I don't know if they'd be particularly useful, actually. Now that I think about it. Looks like AD is trying to save one of his forward mines, though. Of course, he can build more, as he's doing right there. But that one does fall. His army has been rally called, and he is sending him into Luke's base once again. If he could take down this, that'd be huge for him. But also taking down Isengard's economy would be pretty huge as well. Stopping any of his furnaces to getting to level 3 anytime soon would be slowing down Isengard quite a bit. Because naturally, you want your furnaces to live as long as possible to get to level 3 and start pumping out money. And of course giving you more command point limit. But I don't think this one's going to be living to see that day. It is level 2 though. They level up over time as they tick. But it looks like that one will bite the big one. He's not going to be able to go clan setting though with what he has left here, I don't think. Not at all. Obviously the Guardians are going to probably eat through these Uruk pikemen there. Not too much trouble. Yeah. Slaughtering them is the word I would use. So far I think Andy's just straight up Guardians is working pretty well, surprisingly. Just shows the power of the Guardian, I guess. Luke is really having to put a lot of arrows into the Guardians just to bring them down. Especially since they are on hold ground stance, and a lot of times when they're buffed, especially when they're buffed in hold ground stance, they are tanky as shit. And they can be very hard to deal with. And once they level up to level 2, they can use their charge attack to get a free buff, which is also quite nice. Looks like this battalion is going to be finished off by crossbows, since I didn't realize what was happening. And he's trying to stop this guy from destroying his forward mine on the top there. Looks like he will be successful. He's brought out some more Guardians there. Luke is starting to make a little bit of ground in the middle, but he's going back. Luke is just playing the defensive game. I think he's doing well for it, actually. He's at 332, 625. He's got Creebine and 9 power points, so he's going for 10 real quick here. Or he might get a second 5, who knows. And, of course, we have 8 power points for Andy. Rally call, 420, 525. So Luke's still ahead in the amount of farms he has. Not in the amount of troops he has, though. But he is ahead on the command point, or the power point front as well. And he has gone for Devastation, which he has used just now. Give him a big chunk of change. And he could get alerts out if he wants to or something, which could be useful. Hell, even Sharku might be useful against this amount of Guardians. But it looks like we have some phalanxes finally being brought out here. Buff Dwarves going up against Uruk-hai and Shield Wall and hold ground stance. Uruk-hai, Shield Wall, hold ground. Very tanky as well. Without buffs, they last quite a while, allowing the crossbows to do as much damage as humanly possible before they expire. And it's looking like that's gonna happen because the Crewbind is definitely helping as well. And I definitely say Isengard will win this engagement, although the Crewbind has expired. And now the Dwarves are much stronger than they were before. More crossbows being brought in there. A battle wagon would be so good for Andy-san right now. Oh, there it is. Of course, it's just Andy, not Andy-san. He goes by Andy-san a lot, though. So I actually throw the son on there a lot. Let's click away. There's the battle wagon. It's being burst down by crossbows. It's actually not doing any damage. It's lost all momentum and almost just died. Hobbit Summon has been brought in, though. Galadriel being used to cause fear into the ranks of Isengard's army. And now the battle wagon will be free to kill a few units here and there. And this is definitely what we need. He actually did go for Sharku. I was thinking Sharku might be pretty good against this amount of Guardians. He's going for Lurtz as well, but Lurtz is actually dying to Hobbits. Oh, and he does die to Hobbits. That feels bad, man. But the Hobbits are... Don't underestimate the Hobbits. Their rock throw is incredibly good. Especially against heroes. It's really, really great. It doesn't look like a Silverthorn arrow for no reason. It hurts like a Silverthorn arrow. Alright, well, now that he's got the siege works, he can start getting battle wagons out. He's continuing to get his Guardian protection. He has gone for the banners as well. Which of course is giving leadership to all his Dwarven units, which is incredibly good. It's also self-healing, which I didn't know battle wagons did. I guess it makes sense. I thought you had to get to hurt to self-heal. I guess I was wrong. Alright, we'll see if Sharku can help counter the battle wagons, though. That's one thing he can do. He can at least catch the battle wagon. Will he be any good against it, though? I don't know. There are pikemen on this battle wagon, so... Does that make it good? Sharku doesn't do a ton of damage, that's the thing. But Luke seems to be fending off well enough, I think. Also, he's thrown up a Warg Sentry. Very nice. Helping defend this little area here. I like seeing the use of Warg Sentries. I use them a lot myself. But that doesn't mean anything because I'm terrible, but still, I like seeing good players use things that I think are good. And other people don't tend to use them as much as they should. Because they're very nice for defending farms, I find. Especially against like orc spam and stuff like that. It's just a matter of where you put them and how much time you have to put them. If you put them up against a fully upgraded army, obviously not going to do too much. Except for slowly delay the inevitable. Oh, nice. Looks like Andy has saved his forward mine there. Luke Sharku is up to level 3. At level 5 he gets Tame the Beast, which will be completely useless in this map. Unless he decides to use Tame the Beast on some wargs from a warg layer, which is really fucking useless, but I used it once. You get a free little warg that isn't particularly great. It's actually really dog shit. Which is why I'm happy this power is being changed for version 7 to something else. Which is quite good. Experience to wargs and warg riders, I believe, is what it is. Can't remember. I think that's what it is. But it's very nice. And much more useful. Considering it's pretty useless in most matchups. Alright. And he's going to chase Luke's army this way, but Luke's much faster, of course, so he'll be able to outrun anything. And you'll have to go into a mine and pop out the other side if he wants to actually stop these. But Luke is in position to take a few farms here if he so desires, so he shouldn't wait too much. There he goes. He might just be leading some of the Dwarven army away just so he can use his superior numbers over here. There goes the oil cask, explosive oil barrel. Oil barrel is what it's called. Setting fire to the ground, which is actually doing a decent amount of damage to the Isengard army there. Luke is going to pull back, of course. Standing in fire is never a good option. In any game, really. Ever. So it's wise not to do so, of course. Looks like these phalanxes are just going to hold ground there in Porcupine, try to keep these guys at bay. Of course, they wouldn't hold out too long, though. They took a few dudes with them, but there are more dwarves on the way there. His son now has himself in archery range, so he got axe throwers on the way. Axe throwers, guardians, and battle wagons. He's building an army worthy of King Dane. So that should be good, I guess. Not quite worthy of Mordor, but King Dane will do. Close enough, right? Looks like Luke got the better of that engagement, though. Definitely. Well, Andy's bringing out more troops here. Doesn't quite have the numbers, though. Luke has more than enough troops. I feel like Luke's playing the defensive game until he gets enough power points to really ravage his opponent. He's getting close to a 15, which could be devastating against Andy. Especially this army of Watcher, could you imagine? Ooh. He's actually got provision in the Palantir, though. I wonder why. Well, he hasn't used it yet. Maybe to get vision on some trees to... Oh, I don't know. Probably not. Alright, well, it looks like Andy and him are facing off once again. In his base. Looks like he's also in his base. But he's got Menadale battle wagons. Help deal with that. And the Hobbit Summon is going to make things a little difficult for Luke. Hobbit Summon has a real tendency to do that. Sometimes Hobbit Summon does jack shit. Sometimes it does wonders. It's just about when you time it, I guess, and how well you use it. A well-timed Galadriel could be huge. Especially since dwarves don't get a fear by default. And it looks like we got industry for Luke there. So he has devastation in industry, which is definitely going to boost his economy. I would love to see a Saruman, not going to lie. Saruman would be pretty good against dwarves as well, since they tend to clump up a bunch of strong units. One Wizard Blast and Fireball would be pretty strong. So I would love to see that, if in effect, if he can manage to save up that much. Or, hell, even upgraded Uruks would be pretty good. Outclassing the dwarves would be not a terrible idea, I think. Right, and he's brought more troops out. He's bringing his battle wagon over to give his leadership to his troops ASAP. Oh no. I don't know. Okay. I'm pretty sure he didn't want that to happen. It looked like it auto-acquired, even though it shouldn't have, perhaps. Or maybe he clicked on the archers and it just went into the pikemen, who knows. But it looks like he now has Menadale out of the field. So now that he has superior archer support, he'll start doing a little bit better against the armies of Isengard. So Luke is going to need these wargs riders that he's working on, I think. That'll be huge. Although, it's going to be a bit tricky with all these phalanxes in there. They're both throwing meat at the meat grinder at this point. And it's lovely. Both teams getting kills. Both teams gaining power points, of course. Oh no, Andy's got barrage. He probably doesn't want to barrage this with his army there, but once his numbers are gone, I guess might not be bad. There it is. Oh dear. Painful. Well, that slows down Luke a bit. Luke's throwing up some emergency towers in response to losing his entire army, which is probably a wise decision, I'd imagine. Until he can get more troops out. He does have 2 Uruk pits, though. He's not getting Warg Riders as of yet, though. But he does have enough, I feel, to fend off whatever Andy has here at the moment. Although Andy has more back here, so perhaps not. Also, Andy is using hobbits from the inn, which is very wise, because hobbits from the inn will help out immensely. Are they Are they cowering in fear from the creepvine? There's just their natural default stance because they're not close enough to throw a rock. Although I feel like they should be close enough to throw a rock at this point. They're just not. There they go. How strong they are, though. They just eat through units. It's crazy. But they die very quickly, of course, as they're hobbits. They're not particularly strong defensively. It looks like we got 2 battalions of Men of Dale. He's got Guardians, Phalanxes, and another battle wagon on the way. And he's not chosen to cover heroes as of yet. Which is probably wise, because Lurtz, of course, usually will shut down your hero. So it's something you really got to worry about. Or you just have to play very safely with it. And he pulled out his Men of Dale here. Perhaps that was a mistake. He lost a lot of his battalion there. They did fend him off, so maybe not. They can always go heal up, but that will take a little bit of time. Time perhaps that he doesn't have to spare, or does have. I guess we'll find out. Looks like he has it, though. He's doing well enough. He's got a builder up here, interesting enough. And the Warguards have been sent out, although they did run over some surprise pikemen, it looks like. And the battle wagons get some Men of Dale in there to try and counter this. So that you can shoot them dead from a distance. So that shouldn't be a problem for him. Those Lurtz. Lurtz is level 6, so he's giving leadership to his army now, which is pretty huge. Leadership in general is always a great thing to have. And it looks like Luke's base is thriving. He's got a big army. He's got a lot of buildings, a lot of farms. He's got lumber mills. He's getting more. So really, his economy is going to start kicking into gear. You see, he's already sitting on 2 grand. He might be saving for Saruman, as I really hope he is. Although he is command point capped, so even if he did have enough money, not going to help much. So he has to get more farms out ASAP. But he does have, of course, those powers there. He's got 11 power points. And we have a lone tower from Andy. And of course, he's got barrage and such. And he's at 906 and 900. He's at 730 of 725. So Andy's got more farms. He's got more army. Although it doesn't feel like he has more army. But his army is split up everywhere, so perhaps that's why. There's the Hobbit summon once again, saving the day. Allowing the battle wagon to come clean house. Oh, there is no pikes here. This battle wagon has potential for greatness. Though he's taking heavy damage because of the leadership buff from the archers. Andy using the heal on his battle wagon to keep it alive. And he does manage to get it out of there. Very nice. Managed to kill a lot of crossbows in the meantime. Also, it looks like Andy is defending his base from Luke's attacks. Luke does have a pikeman unit over here, but he is getting Men of Dale and phalanxes and such to deal with that. He's also pushing in the bottom left, so that's good as well. So I'd say currently, if I had to guess who's winning, I'd say Andy is winning the match currently. But I'd definitely say Luke is building in power and economy quite nicely. So it's anyone's game really at this point. Luke has extreme potential for greatness. He's killed a lot of dwarves. He hasn't really been on the offensive too much, but I think he's doing quite well on the defensive to the point where it's not that big a deal. And of course, him having not as much map control isn't as important as Isengard, because Isengard's economy is so good anyway. As long as he has enough map control, he's alright. But obviously you want to have as much map control as possible, usually, in general. So you don't have things like this, like a tower being thrown up with Men of Dale there, keeping him from going north or what have you. He'd prefer to have his own tower there, maybe, with his own crossbows in there. But obviously, he's not going to worry about that too much. And there he is, Saruman! Very nice. I was hoping he'd buy Saruman. Excellent. Saruman is going to be a big player against this dwarf matchup that does not have heroes in it. I can already tell you that. Just think of the possibilities. And there's the possibilities in effect. He leaves very few survivors. And he levels up quite nicely against dwarves as well. So Saruman could be the game changer here. I guess we'll see. I mean, Andy really needs heroes, or he needs zealots. Zealots could be good too, actually. Zealots would wreck Saruman, and they don't get cripple struck by lurks, so perhaps zealots is the key. But it doesn't look like he's going for zealots currently. 3 battalions of zealots on Saruman for a little bit. They are going to shred him to pieces. So that would be pretty useful, I think. Heroes obviously too, but heroes have the chance of being cripple struck by alerts. So it's a riskier play. But you can't always play around alerts too much. If you have 4 heroes, one of them's going to get cripple struck. At some point, of course. It might not be the end of the world if you can't kill him while he's cripple struck, of course. And he pulling back to the safety of his battle tower here. Running from Saruman. Luke discovering there's a battle tower there. Probably not want to go too far there. Oh, the ring. Could you imagine if Luke went and got Sauron? He has Isengard. If anyone has the economy to do it, it's Isengard. Look how many power points he's sitting on as well. I guess he's very indecisive about what he wants to do with his powers. He hasn't got a 15 yet, so he's going for Watcher. A good choice. A strong choice. That's going to make Andy's life a living hell. Andy's almost to his 25, as he has got Barrage already. And at 25, he gets his next power. Which I believe is... don't know. I'd be completely guessing if it was Earthquake or Citadel. I can never remember, as always. But we'll find out soon enough, won't we? Yeah. I think Andy's going to start to struggle here a bit. Unless he does something drastic. I think his strategy is lost power. Because Isengard's gained too much power. Doesn't look like anyone's going to claim the ring or mess around with it, so it's just going to be a straight up fair fight. Which is fair enough. I mean, a level 5 Gimli would wreck house as well. Of course, that's a risky endeavor and expensive, but could help shut down the Isengard army. Heroes, at least. Also, Leap is pretty good against armies as well. Oh, he has claimed the ring. I mean, he's already over halfway to getting Sauron. I would love to see him get Sauron. Rarely do you see a Sauron in a high skill game. So that would be kind of fun. But if not, that's very fine. Because, fair enough. I think Luke is in a position to get Sauron, though. Like, he's doing quite well. Also, he's got Devastation. He's already up, basically got it. He's claimed the ring. I'm going to wait on his camera and see where... If all his money disappears, we know Sauron's on his way. Oh. But, of course, he is not just saving. He has to spend as well. Keep himself alive. He's going for banner carriers. Interesting. But his economy is absolutely thriving. I mean, look at this. He's got lumber mills all over the place. He's got level 3 farms. He's got farms for days. He doesn't have the north or the south. But he has a good chunk of land himself. Oh, he's also got the wizard tower on his fort. Which has done a devastating amount of damage to Andy. And he's trying to throw up a tower here. Looks like Luke might have been trying to save for Sauron, but he's got to build troops, of course, to fend off the attacks of Andy. And he's finally gone for a hero. He's gone for King Dane, which is a strong choice of hero. Just a walking leadership, and he's very strong, of course. And you get resistance to fear and terror. Not particularly great against Sauron, Isengard, but it is there. Luke is up to 8 grand. Oh, Saruman's dying to hobbits. Luke does not want to lose him. Oh, there goes the cripple strike. And that's the thing you gotta fear most. But he might be able to keep King Dane alive. Nope, not Lurch can say anything about it. Lurch slaughters him. Very nice. And pulling him back to safety. He didn't lose his Saruman either. He's also up to 20 command points. 20 power points, rather. Ah, Citadel. That's the one after Barrage, I guess. So there you go. We could spend about 4 grand there, looks like. So I don't think he's going for Sauron anytime soon. Which is fair enough. He's not really in a position to get Saruman, or Sauron rather. And there goes the mighty catapult on the Citadel. Ooh, trying to shut down the production of Luke. He does manage to get one of them. And just pretty heavily damage the other one. Luke's throwing up some more emergency defensive structures there. A couple ballistas. But now Andy has this strong little fortress here in front of the base. And he's also got a tower with Men of Dale in it, so it's going to be incredibly difficult to get Andy out of here with this. Perhaps a full-scale invasion of Andy's base, though, could be in order. If he did that, he might be able to just not worry about this too much. Although, I think the fort upgrades and stuff will be enough. He does have the armor plating on his fort, of course, since he has the wizard tower there. It's a prerequisite to that. He doesn't have flaming musicians, though. That would be pretty useful against dwarves. But I don't think he's going to get too far. Between the ballistas and the arrow towers, his army will get whittled down pretty nicely. Oh no, Saruman's dead. What is he gonna do? Well, he can rebuy him with this giant chunk of money he has. That's one option. I think he just did. He spent about 2 grand. Over 2 grand, which is how much Saruman is to rebuild. And he's up to 9 power points now, 864,000 units. And we got Dragon Strike. I just noticed he bought it. Oh, nice. Dragon Strike taking out a good chunk of the base of Andy. And he's at 588, 825 command points currently as well. Oh no, that was Luke, wasn't it? Sure was. Andy's at 770,000. So yeah, Andy's still doing well, even though he's lost his production buildings. But now would be the time to push. Well, maybe. He's still got 3 hull warriors there. So it doesn't particularly slow him down too much. But his archers are shut down. There's a few battalions of Warg Riders are wreaking havoc here. Oh, Andy should not have brought those Men of Dale out there. That was a mistake. Why would you bring Men of Dale out against Warg Riders trampling? That's a terrible idea. I think perhaps these would have been a better choice. But of course, they don't have any forward mine to go into to actually pop out. These Warg Riders are going to do work, though. Andy has nothing in his mine shaft to pull out and actually stop these Warg Riders from ravaging his base. And it looks like Luke has gone for upgrades on his troops as well. He's going to try and get rid of the Citadel here. He definitely needs to get on. He can get a nice surround on it. He could bring it down. He's got Wild Moon Torches. He's got pikes with upgrades. And he's beginning to whittle it down. Even one battering ram would have been a good choice. Would have helped out a lot. Or ballista. Of course, you can do it with just melee troops. And he might have rebuild, though. I mean, most dwarves do. He does indeed. Will he rebuild it? You clutch rebuild. He's at least going to get more kills on it. He does have Masterwork munitions purchased on this thing as well. So they're doing extra damage. Down it goes. But at a very high cost. Luke lost a lot of troops taking on that Citadel, but now that it's gone, he's free to get rid of the rest of this stuff around his base and really push Andy back. Andy seems to have lost all momentum at this point. None of his troops are actually doing anything currently. And Luke is continuing to go around and destroy his mine shafts. So I think this is perhaps the turning point for Luke, perhaps. Luke's also got some more earth pits. At least one. Getting more furnaces as well. And of course, as we saw, he has his upgrades. He doesn't have fire arrows, though. So, I guess that's not necessarily needed. Although he's a lot of crossbows, it wouldn't hurt to get fire arrows on his crossbows. There's no reason not to. It does more damage in general. It's everything. If you have a lot of crossbows, it doesn't seem like a bad idea to me. Not like he doesn't have the money for it. Or at least he did. Let's have a look at his money now. Nope, I mean, he does have enough for it, but he spent a lot of money. So I don't think we're going to see a Sauron in this game, unfortunately. But that's probably for the best. This is a pure skill game. See who can win without the help of a giant superhero. Ooh, King Bran has been brought into the fray. Getting big with his slam shots. I think perhaps Andy waited a bit too long to get heroes as well. And he's not using Zealots at all, which I think is a mistake, to be honest. I think Zealots would really help. Deathbringers even for Isengard would be huge too. Both of them are very good. The only thing is Zealots can be brought back to the fort and healed up for Dwarves. As to where they cannot for Isengard, of course. As they do not have wells or anything like that, hearths. Oh, King Day needs to be a bit careful. He's gonna get caught out in Cripple Struck, I feel. And then he'll be having a bad day real soon. Although he does have a big army of Dwarves. Ooh. Not a good run through for those Warg Riders. Here we go. There's the Watcher. Ooh. Oh dear. Well, that certainly shut down Andy a bit. Watcher is such a killer for armies. Although you gotta be careful because it does actually hit your own armies, does it not? Yeah, look how much damage it just did to his own army. Luke is not making a wise decision running past the Watcher. He might have well just summoned it on himself. That's a common problem that a lot of players tend to make with Watcher. Your units will tend to just walk towards it and get whipped to shit. So you don't want that to happen. Alright, and he's going to go for an attack here in the north. There is a tower though. That's not going to stop too much. Doesn't have any crossbows or anything in it. And he has lost a lot of ground and a lot of momentum though. I'm not sure he's going to be able to come back from this. He might. But I feel Isengard's starting to tech above him in both power points, of course, and in actual tech. And he doesn't have upgrades yet. He doesn't have fire arrows for his archers. Or any armor upgrades or anything like that. That's where Isengard has all of these things. And his Saruman is leveling up. If Saruman gets level 6, Thunderbolt is very destructive against heroes and armies. So that could be a big player as well. And also, Luke has this fancy lightning strike tower that he could use at any moment. I'd imagine next time Andy stops, maybe he'll hit him with the lightning strike. I wouldn't see that being a bad thing. Although he's trying to micro his Warg Riders and obviously looked away for a second. Alright, in comes his army. And he's going to pull away though. Oops, that Warg Rider's going for it. Well, he paid for it with his life. Unfortunately, I still think Luke should really go for the crossbows with fire arrows. Look how many crossbows he has. He'd be dominating Andy Son with these fire arrows, but he doesn't have it. Although they're still doing nicely even without it. How many kills he's getting. So I guess at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world, but it's just like he can afford it. I don't see why he wouldn't. And he's almost at it. Well, I think he has to get another 15 first before he can get a 25, yeah? If I'm not mistaken. And he's at 4 power points. Looks like he had Earthquake. Where do you use Earthquake? I guess here? Must have shut down the Uric pits again. I didn't even notice. It's easy to miss a power when you don't hear it or see it. So, oops. Alright, level Saruman. Saruman's gonna die here. Oh no. He failed. Oh, Gimli's on the field, finally. Nice. There you go. He indeed did have to go for a 15. He's going for the Freezing Rain, which of course debuffs the enemy army all across the map. Pretty good power. It's basically Creepon and everything. I think it's the same debuff as Creepon, but I'm not positive. I don't actually know. Probably is though. Or maybe it's a little more. Maybe it's anti-leadership, minus 33%. I don't know. Like I said, I have no idea. It's Gimli though. No! Gimli's not going to be able to kill her in time. Oh, Andy, throw the axe. Oh no. He should have retreated. Lurtz got the better of him. Well played, Lurtz. Well played. Oh, not well played enough, I guess. As Lurtz fell as well. While this is currently happening, Warg Riders are still ravaging his base. He's really having problems with these Warg Riders. The bane of all dwarfs. If you could perhaps pop out some phalanxes with King Brand, that would be pretty big. Oh, I thought that was a mind bug thing. Nope, it's the it's the tower they're shooting with Men of Dale in it. There's some phalanxes doing some damage. Yeah, they eat through those things for breakfast. Glowing, if you can get level 10 with Glowing, that'd be pretty big as well. Shatterhammer's always a delight to use and to watch. It's one of my favorite powers. Alongside Word of Power in 2.02. Word of Power, Saruman's Thunderbolt's pretty satisfying as well. It's not like 1.09 levels of satisfying, but it's pretty good as well. Oh no, the battle wagon. Unfortunate. The fresh smell of dead battle wagon. There it goes once again. Oh, huge hit. That was devastating. Nice shot, Andy. Killed lots of Isengard troops there. Luke has got some rebuilding to do. He has work to do. Luke's economy is pretty spent right now, actually. He's spending all his money he can immediately. And he might be regaining control here. It is possible. So far, a very good match, though. Very back and forth. But one player needs to capitalize on their moves, though, more so. Uh-oh. Brand out by himself against Warg Riders. Although, fortunately, they're not actually targeting him down. So he should be able to pick most of them off before they do too much damage. Look at that, using Rebuild on his mineshaft. If only he had one battalion of phalanxes to bring out of there. Well, he would. There you go. Can you get him out of there before? Nope. And Brand is alone against the Warg Riders with Forged Blades. Will he bring him down before they bring him down? I don't know. I hear Dragon Strike. Ah, there it is. Holy shit. Nice. Dragon Strike the Citadel. Very cheeky. Although, the Citadel stands. Didn't do much damage to that, but it did kill the army below it, so that might be the chance he needs. Cologne is still here. As is hobbits throwing rocks from the tower when they get close enough, at least. The range isn't amazing. And Luke coming for the flank. Saruman hitting with the fireball. Saruman does have his Wizard Blast, or his Lightning Bolt. He could potentially kill Brand with it. I think it does. It might do enough damage to kill Brand, I'm not sure. Oh, nope, does not. Does a good chunk of damage, though. And of course, Brand is not going to 1v1 Saruman. Would not be wise. And it sounds like we got Summoned Dragon. Coming with a nice smog skin as well, because he has the ring, so he's got the collector's edition things on his units. And now Andy is going to lose most of his base to Dragon, I'd imagine, which is definitely going to slow him down. And once that's dead, there won't be much left for Andy to stop Luke. So Luke really needs to push. While Andy is shut down. Oh, that sucks. Left literally 1 health, there you go. He's trying to maximize the potential of this dragon. He's doing a pretty good job. If he can get this and this, that'd at least be good enough. Oh, unfortunately that doesn't get it in one sweep, but he did get the, well, the hearth. Really, just getting a level 2 Hall Warriors down, pretty big. There you go. Still got a little bit of time left. Oh no, Gloin's been hit with the cripple strike. Poor Gloin, he was so young. And there is the Watcher summon to counter the Men of Dale summon there. Doing quite the job as well. Now the Dwarves have nowhere to run. There's either a giant tentacle porn thing behind them or lots of crossbow bolts in front of them. Either way sounds not great. But of course Luke running into his own Watcher again. No, Luke, why you do these things? Okay, thank God. I hate watching someone watch their own armies into their Watchers. It's like, no. This could have been avoided. But, of course, there is a lot going on the map, so it's fair enough, you know. He's microing his Wargriders up here while he's moving his army down there. And building troops in Delhi and stuff like that. There's a lot going on. So he's probably not looking every second of time. Oh no, Saruman falls, as well as the army, to the well-timed barrage from Andy. But I think at this point, Andy might be done. Isengard has a huge army. Luke's got lots of stuff, lots of base, lots of economy. Andy doesn't really have much left at all, in fact. He has King Dane, and he has a battalion of Guardians, or Phalanxes rather, on the way. And some Hobbits. Against a fully upgraded Isengard army. Well, I say fully. He still doesn't have the fire arrows. Why? Why you do this? It triggers me so. Not really, but it is just a weird thing, isn't it? Is there a reason you don't buy crossbow fire arrows? I don't know. I can't think of any. But whatever. Anyway, it looks like he's fully taking control of the map now. Most of the map is green, very little red. And he's backed into his corner. He's completely lost the momentum. I think it's only a matter of time before the victory belongs to Isen. Of course, Luke's got all these really good powers as well. I think he's got all his powers. If he doesn't, I mean, he can. And he might as well, actually. But I don't think it's going to save him because he doesn't have the forces to back up his powers. That's where Isengard does. So yeah, Luke could probably just go for the fort and win, I think, at this point. Or just kill everything. Even there's another scenario where the crossbows would have been good with fire arrows. Taking buildings down. Oh well. Did he ever even buy it? No. Either he forgot about it or he just doesn't normally buy it. I don't know. He doesn't need it at this point, but I think it would have sped things along a little bit for him. He could have afforded it many years ago. He's also got work sentries on this side of the map. Cheeky! Yeah, this is definitely GG. And he has nothing left. But the pain of defeat. It was definitely a good game, though. Very close back and forth game. Very hard fought. So it's definitely a good one. Actually recommended to me by Andy. And he didn't even win. That's how good of a game it is. And I agree. I thought it was a pretty good one. Well, Luke is not prepared to finish him off yet, I guess. Luke's got a lot of troops. There's the builder. Andy's builder's not going to get too far, I think. Ooh. Firing squad arrived. Unfortunate. No mines running around for him. And now Gimli is out in the field. Looks like the big powers might come back soon. Earthquake is just about back. Luke is trying to make sure no builder gets out. No dwarves survive this. And there is the cloud break. Oh, cloud break. Hit him with an earthquake. Very nice. And of course, these guys are level 5, so they're not affected by cloud break because they got sphere immunity. Wouldn't you at level 5? In case you're curious. And we're unaware. That's why they're still running around. Any unit that gets level 5 gets sphere immunity, I believe. Well, not any, obviously, because like ballistas and shit, they don't even have fear ability to be scared, but I think any like infantry units. There we go. Andy's been defeated, and Luke is victorious. Very nice. Like I said, very good game. Very enjoyable to watch as well, and very action-packed. So that was a good one. I thought it was good. And yeah, I think maybe Andy should have thrown in some zealots. I don't know. I think that would have been good earlier game maybe, but he knows way better than I would. So who knows? Deathbringers maybe on the other side as well. Could have been good, but he didn't really need them. Fire arrows definitely would have been helpful, but didn't need them, I guess. Anyway. Good match nonetheless. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys in the next cast of the Rise of the Witch King, patch 2.2 version 6. See you all next time.